This is why everyone hates Trump. Everyone hates this administration because it is a scam. It's not even a failure. It's not even an honest failure. It is a scam. We are not getting anything that we have been promised. Think about it. We were promised industrial policy, tariffs, subsidies. They backed down in 1 week. Remember Liberation Day, April 2nd, we're going to liberate ourselves from free trade. We're going to have tariffs on every country. They caved in 1 week and then said, oh, the whole time it was really just about China. Remember that? Another fake out. They said, we're declaring tariffs on every country in the world. And then when the bond market melted down, they said, never mind. It was really just a big trick, and what we always intended to do was to only have tariffs on China and nobody else. Trump always chickens out. Then he said, we're going to deploy the National Guard to Chicago and LA and Memphis and every major city, and we're going to bring law and order to the streets. Then they said, oh, actually, we can't do that. And if we deploy 200 National Guard, that's what we meant. And we're only doing it for 60 days. And it never happened. Trump always chickens out. He said mass deportations. We're going to get all these people back. We're going to deport everybody, the violent criminals first, and then everybody else. 300,000 deportations for the year. He always chickens out. Every single thing is a catastrophe. And instead of just being honest about the state of things, instead of actually just recommitting to doing these things that were promised, we get excuses. They just fucking lie. And Trump gets up in a primetime address, like he did every week in the first term, and said, actually, everything's really going great. And it's like we just live in two different worlds now. We live in two different worlds with MAGA supporters, with Trump supporters. In the minds of Trump supporters, 3 million people have been deported, and Trump has ended 8 wars, and inflation is actually down. And that is what they believe. Even though the war in Ukraine is going on, they will confidently tell you, but Trump ended 8 wars. And what they're referring to is the war between Thailand and Cambodia, not making that up. The war between Rwanda and Congo, not making that up. The skirmish between India and Pakistan. In reality, where we live, the Ukraine war, the actual war, that's still going on. The peace in Gaza, that's falling apart and will probably restart anytime soon. Mm. But Trump supporters will say, no, but he ended 8 different wars. How much do you want him to do? It's like, I think we elected him to end the war in Ukraine, not the one in Cambodia, actually. Not the border skirmish in Cambodia.
This is the thing as well that's kind of really sad. I mean, I remember when Trump was running for president, when he got elected as well, and everything he was saying, it actually felt, I think because of the way he was talking, he wasn't talking like a typical politician. The way he was talking about what he was going to do, and this is when he was first running for president. Genuinely, when I was watching it, it felt like he's actually going to do it. But obviously now he's just a typical politician, isn't he? That's what he's turned into. But when he was talking about, funding himself, that kind of thing, that was really good to see. But now, yeah, it's just sad to see what Donald Trump has become. I mean, the big thing he said he would end the war in Ukraine, and it wouldn't have happened if he was president. He's done next to nothing really to bring that war to a stop. Did he stop the war between India and Pakistan? I don't know if it was all because of him. I don't know. Maybe it was. Let me know what you think. But yeah, sad to see.
You say, where are the mass deportations? They don't even report the figures. The best estimates say it's 300,000, maybe 500,000 at most. In Trump world, they take a community survey that polled 65,000 households, and they extrapolate that to mean that 3 million people left the country because they were afraid of Trump. Trump deployed National Guard to Washington, D.C. They said, so actually he made good on the promise of restoring law and order. And he comes onto the primetime address and insults our intelligence, defending this record with nonsense. Defensive with these cutesy little rhetorical phrases. We didn't need legislation to close the border. We just needed a new president. Yeah, you know, that was cute like the first 300 times we heard it. Now it's just a joke. So this characterizes everything about the Trump years. The whole thing is a bait and switch. The whole thing is just a never-ending advertisement. We're always fighting. Victory, prosperity is always just around the corner. Even tonight, he announces a check for the veterans. Okay, like honestly, big deal. The tariffs are not bringing in that much money. They're not solving the debt problem at all. They're not bringing back manufacturing. But Trump instead just lies and says, well, actually, we're bringing in so much money, we're going to get rid of income taxes and we're going to pay people money. Well, what happened to Doge cutting the deficit by $2 trillion? What happened to that? What happened to tariffs actually making money from every country? Then he says, well, we're going to cut a check to everybody. Oh, we don't have enough money for that. Now it's a check for the veterans. Now it's a check for the soldiers, and we'll call it a warrior dividend. Warrior. More of this cultural language. The only thing that was substantive in the speech, he talked about an ambitious housing plan next year. Okay, why? It's like you hear that and you go, he does a primetime address to announce that he'll have a housing plan later. Then why announce it now? He comes on 8 o'clock, prime time, tricks everybody into watching. Okay, you've got everybody's attention. You've got a captive audience. What do you have to say? How are we going to turn this around? What's the plan? Well, I am going to change housing. It is the most...
And let's be honest, guys, given Donald Trump's track record as a president, is that actually going to materialize? I'll let you be the judge.
Wide-reaching housing reform in American history, and it's almost done. I'm announcing it next year. Okay, so did you plan on becoming president? I understand if you were surprised that you won the first time, but this is the third time you ran for president. And you should have a pretty good idea of what you want to do when you get in. There's no housing plan. It's not finished yet. Did you not know you needed one during the presidential transition before the election? And why are we announcing it now then? Hey, I have an announcement, everybody. I'm working on a plan for housing. Get ready because it's all going to get better. Okay, but when? And what is it? And what are the details? When are we actually going to see prosperity? And how are they going to get that through the Congress in 2026 when Democrats are having to appease and pander to their base? How's that even going to work? Trump has passed 5 bills this entire year. Every other president, it's like over 100. He's passed 5. He doesn't even have a plan yet, but now next year there's going to be a far-reaching housing plan. We're now going to take affordability later. And the speech isn't even good. On top of all this, so first of all, you lie to get us to watch. You lie to our faces that things are going great. You don't even have a plan. Clearly, he knows there's a problem. He knows it's not going well. He knows he needs a reset. He doesn't even have a plan. There's not even an idea. Oh, we'll cut a check to the veterans and the rest to be announced later. There's not even a plan. Insulting us with lies about the state of the economy. And then to add insult to injury, it's not even a good speech. He sounds retarded. If you actually watch the speech, he can't even read. He's reading from a teleprompter, and you could see him stumbling maybe a half dozen times in an 18-minute speech. The confidence isn't there anymore. The swagger isn't there. Stuttering, stumbling, weird little riffs, weird little verbal tics. Detours he keeps going on, and you say, so the magic is gone too. The substance is gone. The style is gone. He's not delivering. It's not even the same message, and he's not even funny. And now it's not even entertainment. And I see these assholes on Twitter, they say, Trump just trolled the media into carrying his primetime address from the White House. Ha ha, the joke is on them. No, the joke is on us. The joke is on us that Trump has tricked us, saber-rattling, starting another new war. We tune in. It's insult after insult, lies, and it's not even entertaining on top of it. Who got trolled here exactly, other than anybody that still supports this person, other than anybody that still believes?
That's the thing with a lot of Trump supporters as well. They're all clearly in denial.
In any capacity that this administration can get something done. So I watched the address. It's just another ridiculous show. And I'm ready to be done with the Trump show. And unlike Tucker, I'm not going to do a 180 and say, oh, I don't know what I said. You know, what I meant was. No, this Trump show it's just got to end. I don't know. And I would say he should step down, but then J.D. Vance is going to become the president. But what do you even do with this at this point? Everything I said has come to pass. Worse even than I imagined. Because I told you in 2024 it would be like this. I told you this is exactly how it would go. And it was pretty obvious why. Trump had sold out to the donors on everything, on labor, on immigration, on foreign policy. His cabinet was hand-selected by Susie Wiles, a lobbyist from Florida, and she brought in all the Florida swamp creatures. She handpicked this bullshit cabinet. It should have been absolutely predictable. But somehow it's even worse. I told you a year ago, it's going to be corporate tax cuts, war for Israel. The war in Ukraine is not going to end. No mass deportations. It's going to be more permanent bureaucrats running out the clock. They're not going to move with the urgency, the swiftness that they need to. And in the end, all it's going to do is bring the left down harder upon us. Let's say the Democrats win in 2028, which if they appoint an actually viable candidate, we're in trouble. We kind of got lucky in 2024, wouldn't you say? We got lucky that Joe Biden is demented. We got lucky that his successor, Kamala Harris, was somehow more unpopular than him. Joe Biden was barely alive. Kamala Harris had never won a single contest, a caucus, a primary, has never won any kind of contest in a national election. Add to that Trump had the full weight of the Israel lobby and little tech, and he got shot in the ear and had the iconic moment that changed the course of history. So we kind of got lucky in 2028, just like we got lucky in 2016. If the Democrats put up a halfway decent candidate in 2028 that doesn't alienate white people, that isn't super woke and isn't super cringe, we're going to get absolutely destroyed.
Yeah. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. But yeah, it's sad to see this sort of situation with Trump. I mean, again, when he was running for president, watching his debates and everything was so brilliant to see. Someone who actually, he didn't speak like a politician. What he was saying, it was just brilliant. I had really, really high hopes, but obviously now he's just turned into a typical politician. Yeah, it's a shame to see it sort of deteriorate like this, the Trump movement. I mean, hopefully 2028 someone decent appears from the dust. But yeah, again, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. As always, stay based. See you on the next one.